So you're telling me Grandal was only better in one thing, and he was better by .1 WAR, and you had him over Vasquez.
I did because I wasn't biased.
Said time again, we gotta go. Take one, then I dash away from Popo.
What's going on, guys? For the returners, welcome back to the channel. For the new guys, this is the Pesky podcast, hosted by two college kids who just love the game of baseball and love our Boston Red Sox. My name is Robert. This is Ari. Ari, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Let us know in the comments how you guys are doing today. Any other things you want us to talk about, because in this MLB hiatus we have nothing much to talk about, so we've been keeping this series going. Right now we are on our catchers. We have 3 more left, right? Catchers, starting pitchers, relief pitchers. So we're so close to being done, actually, so we need more content. Please help us. Please.
Send help after relief pitchers, and then we're done.
Send help. We have nothing. That's it. Okay. So now we are in catchers. And Ari, I know this was something that probably you saw too. You expected a crazy, crazy high fielding percentage from your catchers. Am I right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what surprised me a lot, more than fielding, was the caught stealing percentage. Because I threw that stat in there.
You did?
I did, because honestly...
You put in stolen bases for catchers?
No, caught stealing percentage. Like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Shut up.
He threw out somebody. Because that's, like, what I consider one of the most important aspects of being a catcher. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised how low, like, 18% is, like, that's bad. But, like, if you look in the long run, if you look at the majority of players, it's, like, 20s and 30s.
Yeah. What's look at your list really fast. Find the highest caught stealing percentage you have. I want to see what's the highest you have, because that's something I didn't think about.
49%.
Who was that?
I don't know if I should tell you.
You don't want to tell? Okay, fine.
Yeah, right. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's interesting that you didn't put that in there.
It completely blanked on me. I didn't think about putting it in there. So, without further ado,
this will be very interesting then.
Yeah. Without further ado, you know me. I just went on my standard numbers. So I went WAR, batting average, slugging percentage, fielding percentage.
Gotcha.
And putouts. So that was what I based mine off of.
All right.
Number 15.
Number 15. We are going to go look at a player who, very young, a guy that I really like. I like to watch. I like to play with him on MLB The Show. Marlins, Jorge Alfaro.
We almost agreed. All right. I like how we almost agree right off the bat. That means it's a good episode.
Yeah, right. He is 262 batting average, 312 on base percentage, 989 fielding, 28% caught stealing. So the guy can field and he can hit. Not for average, but for slugging. I can't remember what the slugging percentage is.
425.
Okay. Yeah.
425 isn't anything crazy, but it's respectable. You know,
it's crazy for some catchers because the majority of catchers are usually contact hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I found quite a few who have a high slugging percentage. Like, I know for a fact Mitch Garver is gonna make your list, right? Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about him later, but we'll talk about him later. Okay. Yeah. 15 for me. I didn't think I was gonna do it, but once I hit my list and I put out the numbers, I said, "Damn, he actually made the cut." And it's somebody I really love, and I think you love too. San Francisco. You know who we're going with.
Okay.
Buster Posey. The reason is just because I couldn't find really. Some of my honorable mentions were Travis I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Darnell.
Yeah. Darnell. Sean Murphy, Carson Kelly, and Danny Jansen.
Mm-hmm. None
of those guys could really match what Buster Posey put up last year. And I was just looking through. Some of them were very close, but none could really match him. .9 WAR, which is bad. 257 batting average, 368 slugging. Definitely more of a contact hitter. The reason I put him in, 998 fielder. Almost perfect behind the backstop. And that's something that you just love to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, And plus, I've loved Buster Posey, watching him go through the 3 World Series that they've been.
He's had a great career.
He's had a great career.
Very, very good career. Rookie of the year, I think, right off the bat.
I think so.
Yeah. And then obviously the 3 World Series championships.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my number 14, I can unlock my phone, is Wilson Ramos. And I put him in the list, and then I kind of thought afterwards, I was like, okay, all right, well, he'll make it down to the bottom. 288 batting average, 351 on base percentage, 994 fielding, 15% caught stealing. So
was it the caught stealing part that made you want to put him down a lot lower?
Yeah, that was the thing. Obviously, like from his numbers, he's a good contact hitter, gets on base pretty decently. And his fielding, he's also fairly old, so that tends to be a little bit of the. That's obviously the reason why I put him lower. So
yeah, I can see it. I had him a little bit higher, but I can definitely see you putting that low. 14 for me. We had Jorge Alfaro from the Marlins, and we already talked about him. The biggest thing about him is, like you said, he's more of a slugging guy, and with a 1.3 WAR, he still has that little bit of team impact. Which, I mean, how much impact can you really have when you're playing for the Marlins? But
at the same time, no, I mean, it's not. But if you look at that team, the only bright spots are Alfaro, Brian Anderson. I think they're first baseman too. They're not. It's a bright spot in a Marlins organization that's not doing well.
Not doing well is an understatement.
Yeah, no. Derek Hughes just torn that team apart. And safely say that.
It's very, very sad.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
Right. Who we got
My number
next?
13 is Travis d'Arnaud. So I put him in here.
Okay.
Mainly because of his fielding stats. So 251 batting average, 312 on base, and 997 fielding. So the guy's pretty good. 28% caught stealing. So yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that he's not built like a catcher. In the post, like he's not like a short, stocky guy. He's kind of more of an athletic catcher. And so he's obviously played other positions like first base, third base, second, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I had to put him in.
All right. So we're on my 13 now, right?
Yes.
So for my 13, we're going over to San Diego. I have a good feeling you have him higher, right? You have nobody from the Padres?
No, I don't.
You don't. Right. You didn't look at Francisco Mejia?
Oh, I thought you were thinking Hedges. No, I do not have Mejia.
Nah, the one thing that really put him low on my list is the games played. He only played 79 games last year, 0.6 WAR, 265 batting average, 438 slugging, and a 996 fielder. So he's definitely someone that's consistent, but not worthy of a top 10. So I don't blame you for not putting him in your list, but I felt he deserved it over guys like Buster Posey.
Yeah. Yep. So my number 12 is Buster Posey. Like we already talked about, very, very good career. Still a solid fielder, and he can hit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just hope for his sake, like, either one of two things can happen. He can either keep his career going and just be consistent for the next couple of years. Because I love watching Buster Posey.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Or he could get traded to a contender. I want to see him win one more.
The only reason I don't think he will be traded is because of his contract. It's pretty big. And I think that the Giants are just gonna, keep the contract, keep him. So.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
No, I do too. Yeah.
Number 12, we're going to a guy who just won a championship. We're going with, what's that face?
I don't know, Bobby.
We're going with Kurt Suzuki. I'm guessing he's higher on your list. Yeah.
Have Kurt Suzuki. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right.
Did you not put him?
No.
Wow. I can see why. He only played 85 games, 0.3 WAR, but his numbers in the field are at batting and in the fields were solid. 264 batter, 486 slugging, so definitely has some slugging power to him, and a 996 fielder. So he's definitely just like with the most majority of my guys from like 15 to 8, if you haven't noticed in these lists, the one thing I'm looking for is like really consistency.
Mm.
They might not have the best numbers because that's where obviously the better guys go, but they're definitely better. They're definitely just more consistent than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, number 11.
So my number 11 is the Mariners, Omar Narvaez.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely more one of those power hitting catchers. 278 batting average, 353 on base, 992 fielding, 18 caught stealing. So as you can tell, focused more on hitting. I mean, his fielding is not anything to shy away from. Like it's still very, very good. But
Yeah.
the thing that brought him down obviously was the caught stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, 278 hitter, definitely someone who's very consistent. 2.3 WAR. I had him a little bit higher, but
Okay.
no complaints with number 11.
Yeah.
Number 11 for me, we're going with a guy who might not play for this team next year, and it would be heartbreaking because that's all we've known is this guy on this team. We're going Yachty.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
We're going Yachty and Molina. 1.3 WAR, 270 batting average, 399 slugging. Definitely a guy that looks more for contact than for power, with a 999 fielding percentage. I believe only made one error all last season.
Wow. No, yeah, he's very, very good. For the past decade, he's been
That's
the
what we've
best
grown up
catcher.
on. Because what year was it? What year did the Sox go up against the Cardinals in the World Series?
I think that was 13. Yeah, 13.
Yeah. Watching Yadier Molina in that series too, like all throughout its time.
Yeah,
All right.
he's definitely somebody who you'd hate to see leave. The question I have for you is, do you think the Cardinals should re-sign him if he decides? Because he's been on the fence about retiring or not. Should they sign him to a 1-year deal? Should they just let him go? What do you think?
Depends. Now, I'm not the biggest Cardinals fan. I'm not going to lie and say like I know a ton about the Cardinals. I know very little about the Cardinals. All right, but I think it depends on how this season goes. If this season is one where they're like, yeah, we've made a push, probably a playoff appearance, definitely bring him back. If not, let him explore his other options because, especially with these older guys, I mean, you're looking at winning now. You can't be a positive team player. You can't be a great team player. I mean, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just want to go somewhere where you get a ring and still like mentor some of the younger guys so they can keep winning in the future.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, Yachty might go to a team, and he might go to a contender. He definitely has that pedigree, but he could go to a team where you see, a younger pitching staff, and he could help with the pitchers in that way. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see for sure.
It'll be very interesting.
So my number 10 is the Royal Salvador Perez. Only played 84 games, and so but he's definitely worth top 10. His batting average was 235, on base percentage 274, and 994 fielding, with a 27% caught stealing. So definitely somebody that you want on the team. The guy can mash too. I mean, he can still hit for slugging as well, but definitely thought that he should be in top 10.
Yeah, this is one of the weird scenarios I found. He didn't play a game at all last year, and he played 129 games in 2018. So in 2018, he was definitely a top 10 guy, but because of injuries and being out for a full year, I didn't know where to put him, so I left him off my list, and I just left him as an honorable mention.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if he did play at all last year, I would definitely still have him up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 10 for me. This one is a weirder pick.
Okay.
But You're gonna like it and hate it at the same time. You're gonna like it because it's someone you hate. We'll say that.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're going Gary Sanchez.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you have him quite a bit higher on your list. Really? Okay.
No.
I appreciate that.
I will rant when it comes to my time to talk about Gary Sanchez.
Okay. I'll keep mine short and sweet, and I'll let you go off.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
The two things that let him very low for me. He had a really good WAR 3.1 and a really good slugging of a 5.25.
Yep.
Batting average 232. Fielding 982, which isn't bad, but significantly worse than everyone else on here. If you did not have a 990 or above with fielding, then you automatically got bumped down a little bit on my list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, who is your number 9?
My number 9 is Gary Sanchez. So not far off at all.
Let's go. All right.
But I put him down 9th because was hitting. I mean, he threw out 23% of his 23% of his runners. So
not bad.
Not bad. The guy has an arm and he can hit for power. That's the only thing he has. I can't stand Gary Sanchez because he's fat. I can't. I'm sorry. He is. And
now I'm gonna have to add a picture of fat Gary Sanchez while I'm editing.
I don't like. Okay,
you made me do that last episode, and I hate you for it. I had to go.
Fat.
I had to go.
Was fit. Okay, Sanchez was not fit in any way.
I had to go and I had to look up a picture of fat Adrian Gonzalez for last video. You know how messed up my Google searches are now. It's not good. Oh, and I added, I'm not sure if you saw it, but last video I added a video of Jacoby Ellsbury stealing home as a Red Sox just for you.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, all right, Bobby. No, but Gary Sanchez, he's a terrible fielder. In my opinion, he is a terrible fielder. He cannot call a game. I remember one baseball game. This was maybe 2 years ago. Red Sox were playing the Yankees, listening to it on the radio. And I remember him having to go out to the pitcher's mound 3 different times in the inning. And he couldn't keep the sign straight. I was like, if you can't do that, get him off the field. Like, use him as a DH, you know? Put someone who can actually field in the catching position. Like you said, the majority of the people on our list are like 990s, like average. For the bottom line. So that really need to develop that. Like I said, he can throw, but he just seems lazy. I mean, also he's a Yankee. I mean, to top off,
that's just speaks for itself right there.
But I can't stand Gary Sanchez. He's one of my most hated baseball players next to Machado, I think.
Yeah. So from your list, you came from a very biased point. From me, I came from a very unbiased point.
But
and mine was still lower than yours.
Yeah, no. He's not anything to.
He's something. All right.
Yeah, he's something else.
Number 9 for me. I went a little higher than you did, mainly because I didn't have the caught stealing percentage stat. We're going to the Mets. We're going Wilson Ramos.
Okay.
So he was decently high on the list that I was looking at of catchers. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Okay. He was 7th. And I'm guessing it's just because of he's a good, solid contact hitter with a 288, 416 slugging, respectable, not terrible, respectable, and still an average fielding of a 994 while getting 1,101 putouts throughout the whole year last year. Not to mention a 2.2 WAR.
Yes.
Obviously, he is older. Obviously, he is going to decline at some point or another. But I think he's still got one more season of that in him.
Yeah. Yeah. So my number 8, and I'll be interested to see if you have him on your list, is Robinson Chirinos. I hope you do. Wow. Okay. All right. 238 batting average, 347 on base. Definitely more of a slugging type catcher. 995 fielding, 27% caught stealing. So this guy's pretty solid. And someone that I thought deserved top 10.
What team does he play for?
I don't know. I can't remember now. He bounces between Rangers and Astros. Rangers, Astros, Rangers, Astros. It's like every 2 years. Robinson Chirinos currently plays for the Texas Rangers. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't have him on my list.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting, he says. All right. Next, number 8. We're going to the White Sox. I'm hoping you have him on your list.
Wow. All right.
You can't tell me you have him that high. He can't compete with the other guys on this list. All right, he can't compete with the other top 7 on my list. All right, and I even have Omar Narvaez above him.
Whoa.
Right? The main reason was hitting.
So who is he?
Fielder with a 993. Oh, Yasmani Grandal.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, 993 fielding, and it had a lot of putouts. Hit 1,210 throughout the year, which very, very good. 468 slugging, has the power. Just the 246 batting average couldn't bump him up to the top 5 for me. Because other guys in my list for future on, for example, him, he has a 272, 275, 273, 278. Like, all these guys have solid hitting. If you're batting less than a 250, it'll sink you down a little bit, in my opinion.
All right.
You're not. Yeah. He's in your top 3, isn't he?
Yeah. So number 7 is, we already talked about him, is Yadier Molina. I think still one of my favorite catchers to watch play the position. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Number 7 for me, another guy we already talked about, Omar Narvaez. Main reason I had him above was because he was significantly higher in batting average. So if we look,
way higher.
If we look at Grandal versus Narvaez, it's 0.03% higher, which doesn't seem like a lot, but is a lot. And he's a slightly worse slugging percentage, very slightly worse fielder, but it was just the hitting that made me put him above Grandal. But it was very close because every one of their stats was like that close to each other. 2.4 to 2.3 WAR, 993 to 992 fielding. It was just that close. I had to make the choice, and that difference just put it over the top for me.
All right, so my number 6 is our hometown Christian Vasquez. And the reason why I have him a little bit lower is...
Little bit?
Yeah.
Little bit, okay.
Just last year, his hitting started to improve. Nothing against him. I love the guy. I could not dream of a better catcher for the team. Amazing fielder, 999 fielding. 38% caught stealing. That's amazing. And this guy actually trained with Yadier Molina. So their play type is very similar. I think, obviously, we notice that now that Vasquez has more power.
Yeah.
But, contact was, 276, 320 on base. Still pretty good. But I just put him down a little bit lower just because I think the other guys above in the list were just a tad bit better. But, yeah.
One thing I want to look at is, how old's Vasquez now? Do you know?
I do not know.
He's got to be like 26, 27, right? He's 29.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when Yadi really started to break out too.
Okay.
And if we look at Yadi's stats from when he was 29 and Christian Vasquez's stats now, they're actually very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that Yadi really beats him in is he had a 315 batting average back in his prime.
Wow.
And that wasn't even his best. The year after that, in his 30-year-old season, he had a 319.
Oh,
So
that's insane.
put some respect on Yachty's name.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Next for me, we're on number 6. We're going over to Chicago. We got Wilson Contreras.
Okay.
And the reason he's a little bit low for what other websites I've seen happen, but once again, big thing that put him down is fielding percentage. 986, not as worse as Gary Sanchez, but 533 slugging.
Yeah.
Power on power on power on power.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
insane.
3.1 WAR too. Definitely a really good contributor for the Cubs for the past. How long has he been there now?
3 years. Would
A
that be a
little bit.
stretch?
It's been a little bit, so I believe it.
Yeah.
All right. Top 5.
Number 5. All right. I would be surprised if you don't have this guy. I'm going to be very blown away. The Indians, Roberto Perez. .239 batting average. So it's not really hit for average, but definitely for slugging. He hits bombs all day. 321 on base percentage, 997 fielding, 41% caught stealing. That's second highest on my list. Definitely deserves top 5.
Okay. Do me a favor and let's look at your. Who was your number 6 guy again?
Vasquez.
Vasquez. Okay. So what was your number 5 guy's batting average?
Batting average was low, but listen here. So Perez's on base percentage was better. Perez's caught stealing was better. So,
But the
in
fielding,
my
the fielding in general was worse.
Fielding in general definitely was worse, but those guys are very, very similar. I could swap those guys either way. You know, very, very similar. Because what I do is I tend to look at some players' stats and see if who's higher and who's lower, and then based off of that, how
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
but he never came up on my list.
Wow,
he's not even in my top 20.
That's insane.
It was either me not seeing it or the website not putting respect on his name.
I looked at several websites, and there were a couple that had him, a couple that definitely did not. Yeah. They had people like Danny Jansen way higher, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
What's his name again?
Roberto Perez.
Yeah, I didn't have him on my list. Did not have him at all. What was his slugging? It was a 452.
Yeah.
So once again, not bad. Respectable.
Yeah.
All right.
But the thing that jumped out at me was his fielding.
So, for me, that means maybe one guy in my... you might. Unless you have those 4. Do you have a guy from the Dodgers on your list?
No, I do not.
Wow.
Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Do you know how many games he played?
Last year, he only played 54.
Yeah, that's low. That's why I didn't have him on my list. That's the only reason why. I was like, you can't really tell a person's... Just like with... Who was it? Bo Bichette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar. I was like, I could put him in. Decided not. So
the reason I had him in was 2 reasons. One, a 1,000 fielding percentage. All right, he was perfect behind the plate.
Yeah.
And number 2 was a 571 slugging.
Wow.
253 batting average. Decent, not great. But I would say your guy compared to my guy that we left off, my guy's better.
You think Will Smith is better than Perez?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Considering the fact that Perez played more games than Smith?
Considering the fact that my guy has a better batting average, a much, much better slugging percentage, and a better fielding percentage. Probably doesn't have a better
fielding percentage
caught stealing percentage.
But fielding percentage would make sense because he only played 54 games.
Well, when you have 456 chances to get somebody out and you nail 456 chances of them, that's still okay.
That's fair.
That's still fair. Okay.
I mean, yeah. No, that's the only reason why I didn't have him was how many games he played.
Killing me.
So, my
Killing me.
number 4. You done talking about Smith? Or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. My number 4 was Wilson Contreras. Definitely
Okay.
top 5 in the league. Definitely somebody who is good. Like we talked about, his fielding's a little bit low. But definitely not as low as Sanchez by any stretch.
Oh, we hate
But
Sanchez.
29% caught stealing. So definitely has an arm. Third highest, I believe. Nope. Yes. Yep. Third highest.
Okay.
All right.
So number 4 for me, who I'm assuming is going to be your number 3, and we're going to have the same top 2. We're going over to the Mariners again.
Mariners?
Yes. You don't know who we're going with, do you?
No, I just didn't have him in my list.
We're going with Tom Murphy. You good?
Yeah. I might have died. COVID
All right.
couldn't do it, so water tried.
So the thing with the majority of the guys on my list is
What?
all of them, majority of them, played less than 113 games. Like, how many guys? 1, 2, 3, and that would no, 3, 4 guys on my list out of 20 played more than 113 games. So I didn't really take games played into that much consideration.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but and the other thing is, I made this list a week ago because somebody said they wanted to record 2 videos in one day and didn't hold on his word.
Misunderstanding. All right. Anyways.
Okay, 2.7 WAR in only 75 games. You bring that, and he plays all 162 games in a season. That WAR is jumping up to about a 5.5.
Yeah.
273 batting average, 535 slugging with a 992 fielding percentage. Definitely deserving, in my opinion, of a top 4. With more games played, I'm gonna be what am I trying to say? I'm gonna be interested to see where he goes with those numbers.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
Interested to see what they do with Omar Narvaez too. Because
How old is the guy that you just said? Not Narvaez.
Tom Murphy.
Yeah. Also, Narvaez is with the Brewers.
Narvaez with the Brewers?
Interestingly enough, yeah. So that means Tom Murphy will be the number 1 catcher.
Okay,
so that definitely will boost his numbers up for sure.
All right, so he is 20.
20?
No, sorry, 29. I can't read.
I was going to say 20 is that's really young.
29.
Wow, 20. Okay, so he's similar age to Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right. But yeah, what do you want me to see? Caught stealing percentage?
Yeah, just
fielding. Okay. Hold on, I want to see. Where did I find that?
It's way over.
Oh, there it is. 39.
That's pretty good. That's really pretty good, actually.
So admit you were wrong.
All right, my number 3 is Mitch Garver.
I thought we were gonna have the same top 2. I thought we were gonna have. So somebody
we do not have the same top 2.
Somebody in your top 2 did not make my list, or is very low on my. Did I already say your number 2 guy or number 1 guy?
Let me read Garver's stats, and then we'll eventually figure it out. Garver, 273 batting average, 365 on base, 992 fielding, 16% caught stealing. 16% caught stealing is kind of low for me, but fielding percentage is perfectly fine. The guy can mash. He is an insane hitter.
Do you have a slugging percentage?
I do not have his slugging percentage.
63%. 63.
For slugging?
For slugging.
Whoa.
Insert clip
I may have
of him
made a
hitting
mistake.
a home run here. All right, but 63% slugging. That's insane. Wow. That's why he was a top. Insane. He was a top guy for me. Number 3, I had to give love to him just because nobody I could find really below him had better stats than him. Christian Vasquez.
Okay.
Right. A little bit of bias, maybe. From my
Little
number
bit.
4 to my number 3, or my number 5 to my number 3. A little bit bias.
Mhm.
But with the 999 fielding percentage, I know we already talked about him. 2.3 WAR and a 477 slugging. He's just going to get better next year. He's
Yeah,
just
and
better.
his fielding, not his fielding, I'm sorry, his caught stealing percentage is insane.
Mhm.
For, like, at the point of his career, definitely somebody that you want
Mhm.
on this team for a long, long time.
All right.
My number 2 is Yasmani Grandal. And I will explain. Fielding's pretty good. Caught stealing 27%. Okay, fine. But he's definitely more of a power hitter. And for some reason, I did not write those down.
What did you write down?
Yasmani Grandal
He has a
hit.
477 slugging.
Yasmani Grandal is a 468 slugging.
No, it's 477.
Yasmani Grandal.
That's
I'm
not
looking right here.
468. That's exactly what I said. It was 468.
I thought you said something else. Okay, whatever.
I did, but shut up. I'm not going to
Career
talk about it.
141 home runs. Last year, 28 home runs. This guy is, I think, one of the premier catchers. I mean, he, in his career with the Dodgers, he's crazy. He's great. I really like the guy.
Okay. So
I don't know if he's worth the contract that the White Sox gave him, but he definitely is a very, very good catcher, in my opinion.
So let's just take a look real quick between Grandal and Vasquez, and we'll even add your stat of caught stealing. Okay.
Okay.
In WAR, Grandal is better. In batting average, Vasquez is significantly better. In slugging, Vasquez is better. In fielding, Vasquez is better. In caught stealing, who's better?
So Vasquez
In caught stealing, who is better?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
In caught stealing, who is better?
Vasquez, I guess. Yeah.
So you're telling me Grandal was only better in one thing, and he was better by 0.1 WAR, and you had him over Vasquez.
I did because I wasn't biased.
Explain me how that is biased when 4 out of the 5 categories I just explained to you.
We're gonna cut all this out.
No, we're not. This is all staying in. I edit this. I know what I'm putting in. He is better. And the only thing he's worse in, he's worse by 0.1.
Yeah, I mean, also Grandal hit like 5, 6 more home runs. Doesn't matter. I like Grandal.
I hate you.
Okay, fine. Who do you have for number 2? I'll be interested to see who you have since Grandal was so low. You probably don't have.
No, it's Mitch Garver.
Okay, all right.
I had to give love to him because I barely even heard of him before this, but a 4.1, barely, because I don't play a lot of MLB The Show. The majority of the guys you know are from the show, right?
Yeah, and I also do watch a lot of highlights in my spare time
true.
because I'm very, 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 very bored
Yeah.
in quarantine.
Same.
When I'm bored, I look up like highlight reels from players that I'm looking at for the next week's podcast. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So a 4.1 WAR in only 93 games. He would play a full 162 season. That's a 7 WAR right there. 273 batting average, 63% slugging. Like I said, insane. 992 fielding, solid. And then, what was his caught stealing percentage again?
16, but that's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
That's
Still
like it's
we can agree a
decent,
top 3 guy.
Definitely.
Top
For sure. And if you put him like where he's going to be fit right in the middle of that lineup in Minnesota, where you have Sano, you have Donaldson, You have Rosario. You have those guys. It's going to be an insane batting lineup.
Yes. All right. Number one. Fortunately, we've been
Yeah.
getting better. We've been getting the same guys on number one
Yeah.
each time. Okay.
Yep.
So number one, you have Sean Murphy, right?
Yeah. JT Real Muto.
Yes.
275 batting average, 329 on base. What's his slugging? I didn't look at the slugging.
His slugging is a 493. Not the
Okay.
greatest. Very, very respectable. And
Very
what was
respectable.
his
49%.
There it is.
992 fielding. 49%. I don't honestly know what the Marlins were thinking when they traded him or didn't re-sign him or whatever they did to him.
I mean, we can say that with a lot of players. Insert all the players that the Marlins have traded in the past 2 years that have turned out to be really good are right here.
Ozuna, Yelich, Real Muto,
Stanton.
Okay, Stanton's
Debatable.
a little overrated.
Debatable.
He had a big contract and they're trying to get rid of him.
What did they get back for him? Didn't they trade Jacoby Ellsbury? Wasn't he
Nope.
part of that
They
deal?
traded
Jacoby.
Starling Castro.
Yes. And which would you
He's
rather
now
have?
rotting on some other team. I don't remember. I think he's with the Nationals now.
Maybe. But who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Stanton or Starling Castro? Are you good?
You're just making me laugh every single time I'm drinking water. Yeah, so I get why they traded him because they needed to have cap space.
For what? What did they?
Do you realize how big his contract is?
Yeah, but like
it's insane. Team other than the Yankees could,
What do they have right now that's better than Stanton?
Oh, the Marlins?
Yes.
Nobody. But also, Jack. If I was the GM, I'd try to find some, to be fair, if I was the GM, I wouldn't have signed him to a giant contract.
If I was the GM, I would have resigned. I would have resigned.
You would have resigned? All right, Derek Jeter, come help us. Yeah.
I wouldn't have. All right, we got off topic though, but JT Realmuto, definitely the best catcher in baseball. There's no denying that. Our lists, we thought we were getting better after the second baseman video at getting the same guys.
Yeah.
No,
you know what's interesting though is starting pitcher, because there are a lot of premier pitchers. That's
gonna be.
So.
Watch as you have like a guy who's like the fourth starter in your top.
I have Marcus Stroman.
In my relief pitchers, I'll make sure to add Daisuke Matsuzaka. Don't worry.
Sabathia. By the way, welcome to Ari's Takes, where we talk a little.
We're back.
Out of the.
What are we doing for this week?
So for this week, I'd just like to say, CC Sabathia has slimmed down. Right when he didn't need to. I mean, he's done with his career. I mean,
Bartolo time.
The guy is slim and he's really muscular. He's insane. Let me find the pic.
All right. I edit this stuff. I can put a picture right here, right now. Okay. Done. All right. Is that your hot take?
That's my hot take.
That's not necessarily a hot take.
No, but I didn't have anything else, so
that's all you gotta say.
That's all I gotta say.
I'm still gonna yell at you later about Yasmani Grandal over Christian Vasquez,
whatever.
But
But is it as bad as Kevin Pillar?
It'll never be as bad as Kevin Pillar. It will never be as bad as Kevin Pillar. All right, I will give you that one. But
all right.
Trying to tell me that we're gonna take this out. I edit this stuff. I know what I'm taking out.
Thank you so much for watching. You've watched this far. Thank you.
We really do appreciate you guys.
Okay. You obviously didn't see who my top two was. Yeah, we're doing pitchers next, I believe, and then relief pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully we'll have some sort of baseball to talk about.
Yeah.
We might do an episode where it's just like a free for all baseball talk. It could be, and that might be shorter, who knows. Mm-hmm. Just talk about the game in general, our favorite parts about it, our least favorable parts, I guess I should say. Mm-hmm. Do that maybe.
We can just bring in some like random stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we can bring in some of our friends into it, because this is Skype. We can have as many people as we want on here.
Yeah,
definitely. We are not limited. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate every single one of you, especially if you made it this far. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you guys. See you next time.
Peace.
Things on my mind, yeah. Stacking money like 365. Cause the shit